The stream is live.
I'm not sure. Now it says we're live. So are we live or are we Memorex?
Hold on, let me check.
That's an oldie goodie.
Let me check on your channel. I'm gonna find you.
We're going to pause for just a moment in our conversation to make sure that we hear, like I said, we are new at this. This is my first time hosting, but I'm hoping that I did not.
We just went live.
First time hosting, but
I'm
hoping that I just went live. Okay, so
we have been chatting for 30 minutes, and we need to start now.
Okay, so yeah, let's to recap. Number one, we are new at this, and we have been talking for, like Alicia said, 30 minutes. We thought we were live, actually, and we were just scheduled. So we're going to kind of go back over what we went over, and because today we're bringing you information on Missouri brokers disclosures and what that means, and what it's and who should have seen it, which is that has met with an agent. And the other is our buyer's agency and what it means to you, what it's for, why it's important. So Alicia started.
Yeah, we're going to get started today. We've had a busy day, Dee.
We have. You know what? And third time's a charm. So next week we will have this down pat. My goodness gracious.
It's okay. We just went live now, so nobody's waiting around.
Yeah.
But hopefully we start to get somebody popping in to see us. And if you have any questions, you can pop them in the chat bar because we do have a live chat going as well. And so yeah, it's just been a busy day. Started the morning off over at the Jefferson County Growth Association, the Women's Storyteller, which was lovely this morning, bright and early.
Missed that. I have been trying to do the last two, and I have missed them.
They gave us this lovely flower this morning. So nice. Thanks to Cammie Kimes and all of them there at Jefferson County Growth Association. We got to have a nice lunch today by our beautiful brokers that for our sales goals. We met our sales goals last month and they cooked for us, which was great.
Yes,
we had a nice gathering there, full table at our office with all of us enjoying our success. And we also had a really nice cake given to our office staff member who has recently gone through surgery. And I had stole one of these flowers and it was so cute. I gave it to her and found out it was her favorite flower and favorite color. So I was like, oh, I'm winning today. Yay.
Yep. I heard say we started off with on a plus.
Yeah. So, and then from there, we've just been killing it today.
We've just been killing it all day.
So, Dee, we are here today to talk about the buyer's agency and the Missouri broker disclosure.
Yay! And why it's important.
Yeah, why it's important to hire a realtor before looking at homes. And what does it mean? How does it work?
How does it work? Well, I'm curious. So that Missouri broker's disclosure, so I mentioned everybody should have seen this that has ever encountered an agent going into a home. It is the first part of the documents that you should have seen and received. It explains agency. It explains what types of agency we are allowed to provide through our brokerage and what it kind of means to you. And by that, I mean, what fiduciary obligations does that maybe the dual agency. What's the fiduciary obligations of a dual agent? What's the fiduciary obligations of a seller's agent or a buyer's agent, and what their responsibilities are to us, and what we kind of expect. Um, it goes through some other things too. Alicia?
Yeah, I am going to share our live real quick because I had taken it down. I thought it was just an invite to join us on the chat, but let's see.
I was hoping it was, but I haven't had anybody pop in just yet.
For hour, rush hour real estate. So we will be doing these rush hour real estates every Thursday, 4 p.m. So plan on joining us for all things real estate and home related. So our goal is to get to a point where we're inviting tradespeople on who might be HVAC, landscaping, design, lenders, title company, homes, trades folks that you might have questions. And we can easily chat and get those answers for you live every Thursday and give you some tips and advice, a little bit of how we work, and all things real estate. Okay, so I just popped this back out there on
Also, thank you, dear. Thank you
Facebook.
for that. Also, speaking of vendors, I wanted to take a quick moment to mention Hillsborough Title.
Yes.
I know that they've sent out uh, they send out nice little notes and different things. They really do care about their clients. They care about the realtors. They provide us these wonderful keep you
Calendars.
organized calendars every year,
Yes,
and we
I just got
appreciate it.
this really cute thank you card from
Aw.
Carrie Payne at Arnold Hillsborough Title this morning, and it was just so nice that she was thinking about me and wanted to thank me for all the work in the community, and that she's ready for a successful year, 2025. And Cami Kynes is always so nice to order these for us. So we love
Yes.
her, and she probably gave us this
I have to say you.
today. So
She's
that was
behind the pink carnations, which is awesome. Yeah, she does a lot for us. She, like I said, right down, and I know it's not much to some, but for us, I think it's that gift every year of a calendar that keeps us straight, because
yeah.
our calendars fill up very quickly. We could 4 or 5
Yep.
things, to make sure we're on time and there. So we appreciate her helping us
Our
help you.
schedule is our Bible.
That's right.
All
And
hail the
some,
schedule.
oh, Lord knows, Lord knows. Um, with the so we thank them. They're one of our amazing, just one of a plethora of amazing vendors that we utilize. But we do appreciate. So I wanted to throw that little shout out there. And we'll get back to the buyers.
The
Well,
buyer
actually,
agency.
yeah,
And how does it
actually,
work? So, with the Missouri broker disclosure form, if you've bought or sold a home in your lifetime, this is something that you should have seen before. You should have initialed this, signed this, read this, got a copy. And it's basically a disclosure on choices you have in hiring realtors.
Mhm.
And without hiring a realtor by signing, you have no representation, nobody working in your best interest, no one looking out for your goals. And that's what we're here to talk about today is
Absolutely.
how do you hire a realtor? And
And why?
what is the buyer's agency?
Yay!
Yay! So there
This
are
is.
different types of realtors. There's a realtor that's helping the seller.
Mhm,
There's us as we're talking today as a buyer's agent. We're going to
mhm.
help you buy. There are sub agents, which is also a realtor that's working for the seller,
Mhm.
technically. They might not know it. They
When
might not
when would
know
you
the seller.
when would that happen? How would that happen? A sub agent and they not know?
Yeah. So, I mean, if a buyer were to basically hire a sub-agent, they're agreeing that that agent would work for the seller. And why would you do that?
Yeah, that doesn't make sense.
That's
And
like going directly to the person on the sign and calling them. They've already have an agreement that they're representing the seller in their best interest to get them the highest price. Why would you call them? I don't.
it's not without a buyer's agency to where a dual a dual agency could come into play, but that dual agent has to be someone that you feel is able to make sure that they compartmentalize and keep all of your information private, and they still negotiate to your best interest. That's a challenge for many. That's a challenge for anyone, and the biggest thing is you have to be comfortable with that. But the biggest reason that we have a buyer's agency is if one of us, let's say we met you at home, which by the way, this would not happen in this day and age. We have had some revamps and some changes in the industry on as far as standards. It's not laws I'm talking about. I'm not a lawyer, so we're strictly talking about what we deal with every day. Um, but if you called and you're like, "Hey, I want you to show me this property," and I'm the agent on the sign, and that's the only way I can open the door without a buyer's agency. By the way, uh, is my understanding. Now, uh, if you came in, I can show you the process. That's great. Here, 3 bedrooms, 2 bath. We're talking all the things, and everything you tell me is now not confidential because we don't have an agency. We don't have an agreement.
So
That's one of
with
the
the
biggest benefits of having that agreement.
Yeah, an agreement's just going to outline how you plan to work together. And we like
Mhm.
to do that by setting a time to meet at the office and discussing it together. What are your goals so we can help you, how we're going to work so you can decide if you want to hire us. I like to meet folks at the office because we have a really nice conference room where we can sit and talk, and we have TVs that are hooked to the internet, so we can actually start our home search right there together, and kind of talk through if it would be a good fit to work together and what are you looking for. If literally this buyer agreement could be specific to one property, maybe you want to give it a try. You're not sure if you want to hire that agent for showing every home. You're not really sure, but you really want to see that one home. We can send you an agreement on how it would work to represent you for just that one home and go from there. It could be for residential, it could be investment, it could be a commercial property, lots, farms. Um, you could actually have a contract like this with one agent to show you commercial and one agent to show you residential. We might
Mhm.
not specialize in everything or that agent. Um, we are licensed in the state of Missouri, so we can travel. We've
Yes, and we
joked
like
about
to.
that. We can. I always say, we'll work for food, like
That's
we gotta feed our family. So we
that's
will
right.
definitely consider all options and let you know if we can't, because we might probably know somebody who will at our office. Um,
Absolutely.
but yeah, so I mean, this would outline the time frame. When do you want to start looking? How long? It would outline kind of, how compensation would work and professional fees and the costs. And those are things that we discuss together. You're hiring a negotiator. You may want to let us know how you want us to work for you. It all starts right
Absolutely.
there at that buyer consultation. So, and it also gives you a lot of peace of mind knowing that, everything would be confidential when you hire that agent. So you could confide in them about everything. You wouldn't have to walk through the home and whisper in the other room. You could tell that agent, I don't like this, or I do like this, or I might want to do something. But it does go into detail about the technology features in these homes. And now we have smart homes that could be recording you and all of that.
And they probably are. I would say 85% of the homes I enter are
Smart
maybe
home
even,
technology and privacy
yeah.
concerns.
If you see a Ring doorbell, then my suggestion is, actually, this is part of the contract where when I sit down with my clients or the potential clients and remind them, if just assume you're being videotaped, assume that they're listening,
Yeah,
uh, and assume that you can be heard all the way out to the street, because that Ring doorbell can hear some things.
yeah,
We don't negotiate at the home.
yeah.
Don't give away
Go
your
back to the
position.
office.
Yeah.
Yeah,
But the other part of that is that it lets you know that the seller, unless they have specifically indicated that you can, you're not to take pictures in their home. They've had their home professionally photographed or photographed by an agent, and that is the pictures that they will allow. They don't, unless you have registered with your agent on to do so and bring a virtual tour, or bring the camera or video tape through the home. That's something else that is addressed in that buyer's agency. It's not allowed. The sellers, it's kind of sometimes one-sided. I've had buyers tell me, well, that's not fair. I understand that, but we're entering their home. It is still their home. And they may not
I
want you
mean,
to.
a lot of listings do have decent photos,
Yeah.
but
Oh,
if
yeah.
they don't, I guess, and that's a concern. Like, hey, when we go there, you might want to take photos. So I might want to see if I can get that agreement by the seller to allow that. Maybe for whatever reason they were unable to post. I get that all the time where I can't. I need to see pictures of the inside of this house, and maybe they just never post it, and that's a
Oh,
thing.
absolutely.
Then we can work for you to ask them about getting that agreement before we even go.
Oh, yeah. It's definitely worth a conversation. And that is one nice thing that they did put into the new contract, the updated version.
Yeah.
The one thing that is important, I know Alicia mentioned, it can be property specific, it can be style specific, residential, commercial, where you have two, agents working to do different things. Or maybe you're buying a farm at the tip of Missouri and Ohio or Iowa. That's a, don't,
I don't
I'm like, I'm not, I'm like, oh my goodness, that was okay. The tip of Missouri and Illinois. Uh,
know.
maybe
Ohio
because
somewhere.
it's somewhere, it's around there. I can't cross that line. I can't cross that state line and show you a home anymore. So maybe you want that farm that's right on the other side. So now I've got to correlate, but you'd have a second buyer's agency. You'd have something different with them.
Mhm.
Um, and it's not the new standards are that we're not supposed to take someone in without having this specific document reviewed and signed. It doesn't mean that like I said, it can be that property, but it is a requirement. So that's kind of why we're talking about it, because it can be a little scary to go, "Hey, how are you? Nice to meet you. I'm Dee, and I'm going to ask you to sign this document."
Yeah.
So
Yeah. So
it can be a
can
little
we
intimidating.
schedule a meeting together,
Yes.
see if it's a good fit, check out our office and how we work,
Mhm.
and we can, sit down and get a list together of what's going to be most important. What's most important to this buyer is going to be different than this buyer.
Mhm.
So, I mean, everybody has different concerns and different things in their life going on that we would need to know on how we can guide them the best way. Um,
Absolutely.
yeah, and
And their needs. I'm not sure. I'm sure that you have experienced. Um, there's a need list, and then there's a want list.
Yeah.
And then there's a must-have
Yeah.
list that's not the need, but it's a must-have. So I find it's a good time to figure out which check marks I'm is most important first. And that, like Alicia said, we have a beautiful office with um,
Oh yeah. Your fish
big.
tank.
We have, oh yeah,
Bring the kids. Come
yeah,
see
they
the
love
kids.
seeing Elmo. We got not Elmo. Oh my gosh, the
Nemo,
clown Nemo.
Dory,
That's it.
starfish, everything in the fish tank is alive. It's our whole front desk area. If you haven't seen it, it's
Yeah,
pretty neat.
we'll try to show that in one of our podcasts, just so that you can kind of
Oh,
just see it. It's beautiful, the live coral, everything. But it's fun for the kids, so we have something for them to do. We got crayons, coloring books to keep them busy, but we have a nice big screen TV that hooks to our internet, so we can do that search like Alicia said together right
yeah.
there. Start. Maybe you don't know that you don't like raised branches until you see one. You're like, well, that's a two-story. No, that's 17 steps up the top.
Yeah. Yeah. Just
Yes,
awesome.
it's yeah, just find out what you need. But it's a good time to do that. And it's also helps us stay safe
Yep. Yep.
in this
Definitely.
day and age. So
Yeah.
um, the other thing that the buyer's agency kind of goes through is professional fees.
Yeah. I mean, really anything that you think of professionally, whether it be getting a surgery, a dental work, having a contractor build you a deck on your house, whatever it might be, you have that initial consultation. So why would it be any different with a realtor if you want to go see a house? You're going to have to start somewhere with a consultation with, an agreement on how it would work and what's going to work for each other before starting the procedure.
Absolutely.
We're not just going to go in and start scalpel.
Right. It's like, I'm sorry, what did you need done? Oh, darn. Well, we're going to have to change that. We are, um, like I said, just kind of goes through.
You need an
Uh,
x-ray first.
yeah. It's like, no, we'll just go ahead and cut that
Come
bad
on
boy
into
open.
the office and we'll get your x-ray. And then
Yeah, so it's like we're again, it's one of those where I think this is one of those professions where at first I didn't realize how many people didn't feel like they needed to talk or have a conversation about what they needed with this. And it's like, how am I supposed to meet those needs without talking to you? Like you said, go to the doctor. Oh, I'm having surgery. Well, doc, you were supposed to cut off the left leg. Now my right leg's missing. You missed.
oh, we didn't talk about that.
Yeah, we didn't have that consultation. We just went ahead and got in the room. So, so yeah, it's like, now what? So I do think it's one of the things that is just kind of amazing to me how many do not do not think or do not want to have that consultation, and it's they I'm hoping that we can instill that it is it's extremely important, not just for
I
safety,
feel
not
like people,
for
after they come in and talk through it, they feel like a sense of relief, kind of, because there's got to be a moment when you're looking and you're like, I really want to do this, but I really don't know. I have all these questions. And it's not like WebMD where you can just Google, you're getting bombarded with, if you answer any question, ask any question on these websites, you're getting phone calls, texts, emails, because they're selling your information to people. And
that's right.
are they even local, the people who are calling you to vet you so they can see how they can make the most money off of your phone number and all these things. So I feel like that when the buyers come in and actually sit down and we go through everything and how it all works, we have
Mhm,
a plan in place on a plan of action.
mhm.
um, it's like a sigh of relief, like, okay, we're going to do this. We're going to do this together. We've got an advocate here for us, and they're going to go to bat for us and help us and guide us with all their years of experience, and be able to answer all the questions, whichever form of communication, we wouldn't even know. You
Absolutely.
want
Well,
us
and
to
it's
text
also a time.
you? Should we call you? Should we Facebook Messenger you? That's a whole new thing that I'm trying to
Yes,
get used to because I have people who Facebook Messenger questions, and it's kind of time sensitive when you have a question, and so it's like we're constantly on all these different ways and platforms. But if I didn't know that that was important to you, then I'm not checking it as maybe often as I should. And then I might have missed your question. So it is important for us to know how you want to communicate.
absolutely. And I think that as much as it's scary, and it gives, I find that the majority of the people that I sit down with and we go through that, it takes the mystery out of a lot of it. That just getting started, it's like, where do I start? Where do I begin? What do I do? Well, this is our first step. This is, like you said, this is how we get to know what you need. It's also a time for them to meet and find out if they want to work with you.
Mm-hmm.
Not everybody gels. Not every agent is for every buyer or every seller, and they should meet and want to have that conversation. If you, at least this is kind of how I look at it, if that agent isn't willing to take the time to sit down and find out what your needs are, um,
How are
then
you going to do the home
how are you
search?
going to get them done? How are you going to get it met?
How are you going to negotiate that inspection notice?
Ah, girl. And and those can be challenging sometimes. Not, there's so much that goes into buying a home, and your trusted professional should be someone who says, "Hey, let's sit down, meet me at the office, come check. Let's take a look together. What is your schedule? And that also lets me know what your schedule is. When should I start, or when I should block out time to show you homes, things like that. So just know that those conversations are important. So if you are in the market to buy a home, know that we would love to sit down with you, and we would love to review this document amongst others, and also start that search. Let's find out what you love, what you
Yeah.
hate, what you need, what you want. Um, I find that if I have a married couple, well, even me and my husband, I have a list and he has a list.
Usually it's okay if we can get a nice sized garage going, a man
Yep.
cave, then we can really get, if we can get those two things, we can get the wife a nice kitchen,
Hmm.
that luxury features in the bathroom, maybe
Absolutely.
those
Maybe it's the
fancy
outdoor
faucets
space.
that you can speak to. I don't know, whatever it is.
Yeah,
Um,
whatever. I mean, maybe it's an outdoor space. Maybe you need to, maybe
a smaller
communing
yard,
with
a
the
bigger
nature.
yard.
Yeah, I want a tree with a tree swing. There's all kinds of things that are wants and needs. So uh,
And a
I
big
know that
thing too,
we.
I think, is budget. So
Oh yeah.
starting to work through budget, like starting to talk to a realtor could then streamline starting to talk to a lender and talking about what's the payment today.
Mhm.
What are
Okay.
the interest rates today? What is the payment? How is the HOA fee going to affect that? What are the taxes? We could tell you tax trends. Are they up? Are they down? I'm hearing that homeowners insurance or policies are going up.
You're going up.
So that's a whole conversation piece, is pulling in an insurance broker.
Hmm.
So, I mean, all these things we're hoping to have for you live on our Rush Hour Real Estate. We're hoping to have insurance folks, lenders, home inspectors, repair people,
Painters, decorators, anything.
you
Just
name it.
we want to bring
Bring them to
every
you.
aspect to life.
And every Thursday at 4 o'clock, tune in to Rush Hour Real Estate. Our meeting today was a little bit short, a little bit late, I guess, and a little bit short. We were actually on here chatting the first beginning.
33 minutes or so.
And we just did not press the button to go
I
live.
did not hit the right button. That was my fault.
It is
Um,
fun to chat in the studio. So,
yes. But know that we are, while we're learning podcasts and how to, get this going and easy, and we hope that you join us. And hopefully, third time's a charm, and we'll get all the buttons pushed the right way, and all of our locations and things started and done on time. And hopefully, you'll join us and have some questions. Hopefully,
yeah.
you'll find
So
this useful.
after this one, we are going to. I'm hosting next week,
Hmm.
and with that, I will send out a reminder. So to get those reminders, just follow us, subscribe to our channels here on YouTube, like the video. All of that will support us getting more participation to help get questions and ideas going and flowing. So make sure to do that and look out for us next week. We will be back. And Dee, what topic should we do next week?
Let's
You're
see.
going to be
So
my guest. So
I'm going to be the guest. Be your guest. Um, so we went through the buyer's agency
yep.
and we talked about um, its the validity of it, why it's important, and professional fees, the negotiations of that, and how to set up our guidelines. So
What
maybe we should
about
talk
this?
about.
We've got this little handy bit of information that is helpful for those buyers who come in to meet with us at our buyer consultation meeting. And it is an overview of the home buying and selling process with little
Yep,
tips and tricks and things to
absolutely.
consider. And how about we touch on a little bit of that next week and
I
what's
think
in it?
that's great. I
And
think that'll be perfect
it'll
because,
probably bring up all kinds of different conversations,
yeah,
looks like we've got stuff about lead-based paint, or what's earnest money, inspections, how do walkthroughs work, stuff like that.
absolutely. Because now we've got the buyer's agency all covered. The next thing we're doing is shopping. And once we
Yeah.
shop, we're definitely going to find what you're looking for. And then you need to know what comes next. So, yeah, let's talk about the buying process a little bit, what they would expect and what they should expect and possibly run into. You never know.
What
And I look forward
happens
to it.
after you get a contract?
That's right.
What does that
Uh, Stay tuned.
mean? All
So,
right.
I appreciate everyone's tolerance and I hope you find this information useful. Remember, if you have any questions, I know that you can always follow this. We are going to ask that you follow, like, and subscribe. And if you have any questions, feel free to send them. I believe that you're able to send them to us even after we log
Yeah,
out.
you can comment on the video and our message reach out.
Yeah, and we will definitely get back with you on that. And like I said, so don't think this is just the end of it. We're able to be reached. Our office number is 314-714-7000, and that's where both you'll find myself, DP, and my co-host. There you go. So you can reach either of us at that number. We will, of course, have our own individuals, but hopefully, and that will be linked to our Facebook's pages. So you'll be able to see our contact information individually. But thank you so much for joining us today. We're over just a little bit. We're going to let you roll home and have a great rest of the week.
Bye.
Thanks for joining me, Alicia. See you
See
next
you
week.
Wednesday.
Bye, guys.